Chapter 4. The Concept of God. A universe is a place that is run by unfriendly powers. The Demiurge, who enslaved source consciousness, is the alpha boss of this universe. To ensure that his plan of dominance goes unchallenged, he came up with many schemes that have limited the imagination of humanity. Sometimes it is difficult to know it works in a clear way due to our nature as creators. We end up creating things we are trying to understand by our focus on them. That means if you study demons, you may end up causing their existence than knowing about them. Consciousness exists in three forms, and those forms are responsible for every manifestation in this universe. The God Trinity. In the Bible, it says God exists in three forms, namely God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The three states of God simply represent the three states of consciousness. However, instead of telling us the truth as it is, we were taught about any objective God who doesn't even exist. You are the Trinity. You are God. The reason why people struggle to excel as God is because we have been taught and groomed to give our power away. God the Father, superconsciousness. God the Father is depicted as the alpha head of all that happens. He is the one that is in control of all creation. God the Father is actually a description of superconsciousness. Superconsciousness awareness has been there since the beginning of time. However, unlike the religious God, it is a non-deductive energy that doesn't impose any decision, but rather it endorses all decisions done by faith. The concept of God the Father is a copycat program on the operation of superconsciousness. The real power is with you, not a being in heaven. God as a being is a concept that was created to rob us of our being. Instead of us looking inside and discovering who we are taught to seek and please a God seated on a throne. And yet, that God is simply an idea of superconsciousness that we all possess. The Holy Spirit. The subconscious awareness. The Holy Spirit is purported to be the unseen and creative energy of God. Yes, the most effective form of consciousness is subconscious awareness. If you read the Bible, you will understand that the Holy Spirit fashioned everything. We are taught about it as an independent entity, but that is the essence in all of us. We all have the Holy Spirit, the subconscious mind. Everything exists because of the subconscious mind. It is the subconscious mind that impresses upon the superconsciousness to act in a certain direction or to have a certain narrative. Since the superconsciousness supports every decision with firm conviction, therefore, whatever awareness is in the subconscious mind, it is manifested by the superconsciousness in the physical realm. Then, the Bible tells people that the Holy Spirit intercedes for us to the Father. There is no intercession that is done per se. Whatever conviction is held in the subconscious mind, it is manifested accordingly. If the conviction is not 100% solid, the manifestation will not happen. That is the stage where Christians will be praying and they won't be receiving answers. Then they will be told that it's not yet time for your miracle and so forth. In actual fact, the conviction in the subconscious mind will be inadequate to cause the manifestation of anything. Thus, the Holy Spirit will be incapable of doing anything. Jesus, the conscious awareness. In the Bible, it is Jesus who came as the representative of heaven. He was God, but walked, talked, and ate with humans. Remember, all the stories in the Bible are fables. So by talking about Jesus, the Demiurge writers were referring to you. Jesus is seated with God, the Father, and the Holy Spirit. It is just about you, superconsciousness, and subconscious mind. How manifestation works. Manifestation is a result of built-up awareness in the subconscious realm. The subconscious realm is the psyche realm. Some people call it the astral. This is where we have our translucent bodies. These bodies are basically memories. They have memories of everything we have experienced since the Big Bang event. This realm is a projection of the subconscious realm. It is an automatic projection. It's not something we can control. It happens naturally. Whenever a thought is held with 100% conviction in the subconscious realm, it manifests. The information that is accepted as the truth in that realm is something that the brain has no doubt about. So whatever you hear and believe with 100% conviction becomes the reality you will see. Once a conviction is held, superconsciousness enables that conviction to manifest. It manifests everything, regardless of being good or evil, as long as there is a total conviction about it. Consciousness is behind all of the creation that we see. The creations are done according to the thought of perception of the subconscious realm. So basically, we create our realities subconsciously. Our energy creates our reality. There is no God who is behind anything. Who has been called God? The lack of knowledge about how the whole equation works has made people believe that there is a God in heaven who is commanding events. We live in a universe that is pilotless. Our combined beliefs in the subconscious realm manifest this reality. The fact that people aren't fully aware of what will be happening in the subconscious realm has led them to come up with the belief that there is a God. People aren't aware that it's them who are behind their reality. Our perceived God is simply the energy we hold in the subconscious realm. That energy is the one that is manifesting all these realms through the non-deductive source consciousness. Source consciousness is activated only when there is a 100% conviction in the subconscious mind. Then it manifests the conviction in the physical realm. This happens in the collective as well as on an individual basis. Unfortunately, this entails that the collective consciousness can manifest God like we can create God. If all people believe with conviction that He is there, then in the afterlife they can see Him. The only problem with that is the Demiurge is operating independently and knows the absolute truth. So even if people can manifest God, that God will be under the control of the Demiurge. That's exactly why religion was created. People assume that they are serving a living God, and yet they are manifesting a creature that will be under the orders of the Demiurge. It is actually Demiurge worship. Religion was created as a way to limit the free roaming of the collective consciousness so that it will achieve the intended aims of the dark power. We don't have a written down future. Anything that we impress upon our subconscious mind as individuals and collectively will manifest. The issue of being told about the absolute such as heaven and hell is made to make the collective consciousness manifest that. The superconsciousness always has no choice but to agree to the information in the subconscious awareness. It doesn't discriminate but endorses anything that the subconscious mind is saying. Having said that, you can create your own wonderful future the way you want. In the next chapter, I will be discussing how to use this knowledge to create the reality that you want. Loophole of source consciousness. I'm sure most people have wondered why a fair and just God seems to allow evil to prevail in the world. The poor, weak, and children are abused for fun by those with power. Humans are treated as expendable cargoes. The crimes that we hear about on television and other media are usually just the tip of the iceberg. Wars are started over silly reasons, and it's always the poor who pay the heaviest price. Where is the owner of the universe when all of this is happening? Well, before I give an answer on how it all works out, I would want you to know that you are the owner of the universe. You don't have to know how the system works. That's why you have become the passenger in a boat that you are supposed to command. Source consciousness has a big loophole that usually benefits the nefarious monsters more than genuine people. It is a non-thinking energy/entity. It will never judge anyone or anything. It doesn't change any situation. That's scary, right? Like the supposed God is the energy that just sits on the chair and becomes the observer of all the bullshit. Not only that, but it also gives a thumbs up to all the happenings. That's what source consciousness does. It doesn't know good from evil. Like literally, it doesn't know what is evil or good. It seems perfect in everything. Mind you, source consciousness is the one we are told is God the Father. This clearly shows that heaven and hell don't exist. As far as it is concerned, there is no one perfect as much as there is no one who is evil. Again, it means there is no one to reward for your action as much as there is no one to punish you for your misdeeds. You punish yourself, you reward yourself. Remember, I stated that source consciousness supports every conviction. If you think you are evil, it endorses your decision, not because you are evil, but because everything held with 100% is correct. The conviction you give yourself at the subconscious level is the one power it endorses in your situation. If you think you will die early, the source consciousness supports and empowers that. It has no mind of its own. Your mind is the mind of source consciousness. When I say mind, I'm speaking more specifically about the subconscious mind. What you believe at the subconscious level is what you truly believe. Mentally, you may think you believe in something, but you will be having doubts about it if put to the test. So true beliefs are held in the subconscious mind. Unfortunately, we don't always know what we truly believe. However, what happens to us shows what we truly believe. Sometimes we may argue that our current life doesn't show our true beliefs, but facts are stubborn. Your life experiences are a showcase of what you believe. The source consciousness endorses whatever humans believe at the subconscious level. All answers are correct. That means that we are all equally endorsed by source consciousness, regardless of our intentions. According to it, there is no such thing as a wrong intention. All intentions are correct. This explains why evil people seem to win. They simply have belief and assert usually more than good people. If two people are going for the same goal, source consciousness supports the person with the highest level of self-belief. From my own analysis, good people seem to be passive. They wait for things to happen instead of making things happen. This means that the evil charlatans get the endorsement of the source consciousness. That's where good people are losing the game. Religion has worsened the situation. They have been told to wait for God to judge evil and accomplish His will. There is no such thing as the will of God. The will of God is the will of the dominant people. The Illuminati and Masons. Illuminati and Masons are people who know how the world really operates. Remember, the knowledge that we are currently using has always been there since the beginning of time. However, true knowledge is always kept in secret so that few people will be in control of real power. They don't want a situation where everyone is powerful and can control the universe. The fewer the number who know the truth, the better it is for the evil cartel. You can never have an assertive belief in yourself except when you know the real truth. The Illuminati and Masons have sufficient knowledge about the fact that there is no God. This has allowed them to take a stranglehold of the universe. They believe in themselves, and they know that the superconsciousness holds and enables every decision. Where there is a competition, the biggest dog gets the bone. The fact that they are assured that there is no God has made them to be the biggest dogs. Thus, they have held the universe by the lapel. The good guys are told to pray harder for things to change. Prayer is a sign of lack. When you pray, you are telling your subconscious mind that you don't have, which means you exacerbate poverty. When you will be competing against the Masons, you know how to program their subconscious mind to achieve anything. Prayer can also work in programming the subconscious mind if people are taught about Thanksgiving prayer. However, the belief that there is God entails you will never take both ends of the rope, something that the Masons do. This means they get ahead in using the loophole of the source consciousness. You are God. I know it sounds blasphemous. We have been taught that there is a God in heaven and we have to obey Him. The three states of consciousness are what is referred to as God. You have those three states of consciousness. You just have to learn to use them. If we knew how it operated, religion would have not existed at all. However, religion is a result of a lack of knowledge, and it exacerbates the situation. You have the superconsciousness, which is sometimes referred to as the higher self. You have the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. You are three in one. Those who believe they heard the voice of God or have psychic intuition are basically just hearing from their own subconscious mind that is receiving information through knowing what is in the source consciousness. We are a God who is capable of creating and shaping our own reality. Consciously, you have to choose and act. The subconscious mind will just have the impression of your biggest perception of yourself. The superconsciousness manifests your subconscious energy. So in this body, the brain is the key to bring about the change. You have to choose. Program your subconscious mind by using affirmations preferably. Then, whatever you believe at the subconscious level is manifested by superconsciousness. What you believe about yourself is what you will manifest. You have always been the God of your own reality.